Hello. Today I'm going to read Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. Have you ever had a day that you felt was just so awful that you wanted to go back to bed and you just wanted it to be the next day? I know I have. So some days can be good, some days can be okay, some days can be just downright bad. And I think Alexander is having a very bad day. So let's find out all about what is going wrong in his day. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Now, this book was written in, if you can see this, 1972, which was several years ago. That was before even I was born. And so this book is in black and white. But sometimes seeing pictures in black and white can be really beautiful. So color is beautiful, but black and white is also beautiful. And you can kind of imagine the different colors that might be present in the book using your imagination. So you might imagine, what color hair does Alexander have? What color is his bear? What color is his lamp? You get to choose inside your head. Okay. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. So already when he wakes up, it's kind of like when people say you wake up on the wrong side of the bed. That's an idiom that people say. And that basically means that just from the start of the day, it's things are going badly. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. So I don't think they do this so much anymore. At least I haven't seen it. But back when I was a kid, they used to put prizes in cereal boxes. And so these kids, Alexander and his brothers, are looking for the prizes in their cereal box. And Alexander's mad because he didn't have any prizes in his cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. So we can take a pretty good guess that Alexander's from the United States, and Australia is it's a country and a continent, and it is all the way around the world. And so maybe Alexander thinks that if he moves to Australia, everything will get better. I'm not so sure about that. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have the seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be car sick. No one even answered. Have you ever gotten car sick before? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. This is my favorite part of the book because it's so clever. It's an invisible castle, which means he didn't actually draw anything. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. Oh, does that happen a lot at our school? Yeah, I've seen kids do that sometimes. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off and the cone part lands in Australia. So he's pretty mad, isn't he? There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity in just me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. There's Alexander, very mad. Have you ever had a cavity before? I have. I've had lots of cavities when I was a kid. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot while we were waiting for my mom to get the car. Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then I started crying because the mud. Nick said I was because of the mud, and Nick said I was a crybaby, and while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. What does scolding mean? It kind of means she's saying, you know, getting mad at them for fighting, for doing something wrong. I am having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. So he's mad he didn't get his shoes. Nothing is going his way. Nothing. Uh-oh. Looks like something bad's happening here, too. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as could be except for my elbow. He also said don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Looks like Dad's having a bad day. It looks like Mom's having a bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot, I got soap in my eyes, and my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. Well, at least the day's almost over, right? When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burnt out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are like that. Even in Australia. So what she's saying is even if he moved to Australia, he'd still have bad days sometimes. So what was your day like today? Was it a good day? Was it an okay day? Or was it a bad day? What do you think tomorrow will be like?